Hey everybody, welcome to my Minecraft Forever world. This world's been around for almost a decade. Instead of giving up and restarting every time I got bored, I just kept building. I've even had friends join the world and make impressive builds that I cherish a lot. I've never really shown it off before, so today that changes. I'm making a new series. Actually, my first series. But first, I gotta show you everything. So I'm gonna give you a tour this episode, and I'll tell you how the landscape is and what the world's like. Not all the builds are massive and flashy, but they all have history. And that's what makes this world special to me. So, I'll describe the three main areas that I'll be showcasing today. The first one is the original spawn. I've decided to name it The Origin. You can follow a path southwest from there, and you'll end up in Castletown. That's the most active area, and there's a lot to show off there. So I'm probably going to miss one or two things, but I think you're going to like it. From there's a rail that connects from Castletown down to the Isle of Old, or we also call it the Old World. So with that, let's start off and jump in at the origin. Alright, here we are in the origin. So behind me here, there's actually a map that shows us where we are. And there's a nice dock over here. It looks awesome with the shaders on, but there's a boat dispenser here if I wanted to go that way. There's actually a channel I dug out over there. I'll leave that there for now though. Yeah, if we look above here, we can see that there's a railway that heads towards Castletown. And over here is sort of a primitive, I guess you might call it half of a super smelter or something. Maybe not necessarily a super smelter, but it was my smeltery. And then if you go down these stairs, it'll take you to my old storage area. So you go down these tunnels here, and there's actually storage over here with a crafting table that can come up and you can craft with it if you want. It's kind of a gimmick, but I kind of like it. Then down here we have the underground farms. I think it's mostly carrots. I have these lanterns for lighting. Across there you can see an enchanting area. Let's go in there. Most of this place is actually torched up, so it's quite safe to walk across this walkway even though there's no roof on it. I even torched up this ravine. You can see I got glowstone over there and lava and stuff that I placed to make it look better. I go through here. Then you can see this enchanting room that I made. I'm trying to put this water here to make it more magical. Then over here we have just the nether portal. Quite simple in this area. I like it. But you'll have to see Castletown. I said I like this one, but Castletown is amazing. So let's go back the way we came. Actually, I'll get us there. All right, here we are back outside. Out here, you got a sort of walkway that I was planning on putting something there, but it just ended up being a walkway to over this area, I guess. And then all the way up here and down this road, there are some animals, like an animal farm. If we ignore the llama. You got pigs over here and a random chicken that is not supposed to be there. Cows. And a ton of chicken because I have an automatic egg dispenser there. Semi-automatic. So if I take some eggs here and I just put it on the top of this chest, it should start firing. You should be able to see the eggs coming out right there. The chickens are very loud. Of course, there's also sheep too. This is the oldest area in the world. So let's head back up the stairs over here. And over here is a path to Castletown. So let's go. We're about to approach Castletown. We have this makeshift bridge here. And then just a little bit farther and we're about to be there. I'm sure you can see some buildings in the distance that I'm hoping to show you soon here. So if we go up here, before I get started here, I'd like to show you something that's a little bit more on the outskirts, which is this building over here, this house. Someone built this over a sort of pond, and I want to make sure it's not forgotten. So down here, we got our stairs. This nice like entrance here. And then you have the pond and this nice little house here. Then inside here there's a water ladder basically that can take you to the different levels of this this house. So if we go through this house, there's this really nice bridge that kind of goes through the gardens, I guess I'd call them, into this fountain. I helped build, or well, more like I helped terraform the area so this could be built. But I really wanted to make sure I didn't forget this because this is an awesome build and it's kind of on the outskirts of the town. But let's go up through this area and we should be able to get inside the town itself. So let me just run up here and then cross this ravine. Here we go. First thing I'd like to show you is this nice little statue, this Enderman statue here. And then if you follow the path again, we'll walk past that. Just ignore whatever's happening there. No, don't worry about it. It's totally ethical. Nothing to worry about down there. Nothing to look at. Inside are the stables, or maybe I guess you'd call this a barn. Got some cows and chickens and a horse. There used to be some other animals, but I think they either escaped or got lost somehow. And over here we have another house with multiple floors. So let's go inside this one actually. You got the kitchen, which looks pretty nice and decorated. And then I got a ladder over here to go towards like the sleeping quarters, I guess. Sort of terrace thing. Go down this way. And then down to the first floor, there's an enchanting table and some storage. And then I keep walking past this glass thing, and I don't know what it is, so... I mean, actually, I'll approach it so you can kind of see it, but I'm not really sure what it's here for. Someone put some magma here, so that's kind of cool. Not sure what it is, but I'll keep going here. Let's head back down the path. Okay. And to the left we have our well. And then back on this path, we got this custom acacia tree, giant acacia tree. Here, let me do a flyover or something, just to show you it. And then, oh, right here, there's a ladder that you could take to go to the top of this. Then there's a fountain that we built because the person who was building this kept falling to their death. So the joke is that it's a safety net for them. They kept dying even though we built that, though. There's a nice little bridge that goes across this river here. And then we have our first, probably, structure that we built. It was just this goofy little tree that's built out of other trees. You can even see the dirt where the trees were. And we just kept building up. We called it Mega Tree. But unfortunately, the Mega Tree actually burned down. So this is the sort of repaired version of it. You can see some floating beds and stuff, but it's burned down. Most of this burned down because of some lava. But that's okay, we repaired it. It's all good now. Oh, and I want to make sure I don't forget this as well. This is a work in progress. It's a library. We're gonna, because they added the books, the new, I forget it, I think they're called chiseled books, bookshelves. I'd like to add some books to it and kind of for fun, add some books and maybe some enchanted books as well. And then I need to vote on these stairs, so I'll say, I'll vote on this one. So let's go down on this path again. Over here we have a Japanese style house. It's got multiple floors and some storage as well. So let's go inside. Here we go. Okay, there's a bunch of trader llamas because the traders keep trespassing and coming in here, so we keep getting llamas. Not sure what's happening to the traders. I'm told that they're fine, they're totally safe, nothing bad happened to them. But you be the judge of what happened there. There's multiple floors here, so we can go up these stairs. And it keeps going up, and there's sort of like a bell tower type thing, I guess. Not really a bell tower, but a sort of tower. So I'm going to go back the way I came. There's a shed here. Let me close the door. There's a shed here with some more storage. But let's go back on the path, and we'll get to see the rest of this area. So let's go this way. And I'll show you some of the smaller stuff, and then I'll show you some more bigger items here. So to the right here, we have an entrance. This hut here is like an entrance to the storage system. And there's an auto sorting chest. So if I put some gunpowder in there, you can see it goes down a little bit, and it goes down into the storage system. And then within here, we can see there's, well, if we go down there, we'll be able to see the storage system itself and grab items if we want. But I will save that for the redstone industrial section of this video. So that's a small one, but over here, this is my house. I followed a schematic for this. This is like a Nordic style house. Hold on, let me show you like a flyover. Alright, and then we go inside, and you can see the entrance of the Nordic house. There's the top floor, and then there's this like chandelier up here, this wooden chandelier. And then down here we have most of the other stuff. I got a bookshelf here with some books I'd like to add to the library, and just kind of all these furnaces so I can smelt, and the chests for storing stuff. So that's my house. But here's where the town gets its name. It's the castle. Got multiple floors, a villager trading hall, some storage. It's a nice build. This one is not a schematic. I also didn't build it, but it is a very good looking castle. On the inside, you got all this glowstone lighting the place up. Multiple different floors with different things. You got storage, trading, and a couple floors that are unused at the moment. But let me take you up to the storage. You can see the storage. There's another portal that I might go through later to show you some stuff. And a floating lava trash bin. Just because it's a storage system, sometimes you need that. And then 4th floor, there's trading. You can talk to these villagers and trade stuff with them. I was told that they are here of their own free will. This is their decision. Not sure that's true, but I was told that that is the case. You can go outside here to get a view of Castletown. So I'm going to go ahead and just glide down, and we'll go to the rest of the builds here. Alright, over here we have the stables, or really it's more of a horse track, that is attached to the castle. It has this redstone kind of thing where it, I guess contraption that measures how fast the horse is, so for breeding, to try to get the best horse possible. So we have all these different horses here, trying to breed them to get the best horse. Okay, and if you follow the path, I guess, southwest of Castletown, there's this cherrywood sort of, I'm not sure exactly what style this is, but a cherrywood pink kind of house that I'll go inside and show you here. There's all these different lights that keep it nice looking, and then you can go all the way to the top. There's multiple different floors, lots of space for different things. And then if you take the ladder up here, you can see like a pretty nice view of Castletown. And there's a bell here. Oops. And then to the right, there's also a view of the pyramid. This is actually a really good spot for screenshots and stuff. So I'll head back down to the 1st floor. Alright, back outside. I have a few more things to show you, I think, so let me just fly over here into the swamp area. And in the swamp we have this nice tower thing. Maybe it's a castle tower type theme. It's dark. And what it is a slime farm. So inside here you can get slime balls. And the reason it needs to be so tall is you're supposed to go to the top of it and AFK for a bit, and the slimes will be collected while you're AFKing. Maybe not necessarily AFKing, but when you're up there, you're just waiting. You can take this bubble elevator to the top and take the bubble elevator down once you're done and grab the slimes. This was way more bare bones, but someone was able to help and make this look so much better. So it's actually, I'm being told it's an unfinished build, but it's looking pretty finished to me. It looks fantastic, and it makes the place look so much better. It had to be in the swamp, so it's out over here. We might want to terraform it as well, because there's a bunch of chunk borders you can see, because this world is quite old. And here's what it looks like during the day. Just a couple more things for me to show you. Here's the pyramid that I was talking about that you can see from that pink house, bell tower there. And this was the first pyramid that was built. You can see it's kind of, this is actually not a desert biome. This was, we just placed the sand here. But inside here, we can see the inside of the pyramid here. So I was going to use this for a storage system, but I actually needed more space than this for my storage. So I'm going to leave this area. But then, after this pyramid was built, they decided they needed another one. So here's the bigger one. You can fly all the way to the top here, and you can see this is actually stairs instead of blocks. And it's got gold at the top, and you don't need to light this up because stairs don't allow mobs to spawn. So let me fly down to the bottom here and through here. You can see it's lit up in the center, just, or not in the top here, just to make it kind of look nice. I'm not sure, this might be enough for storage, but I don't want to use this for storage. We're going to use this for something else, I think, so I'm not going to do anything in here. So that's the pyramids. A mega project, or maybe not a mega project, but a burnout project would be to add sand to both of these areas. Sometimes we do big things that are just so much work. There is one more planned build. If I fly back over here, this area is kind of being flattened, and we might build a museum here. It's going to take a lot of space. But yeah, there's going to be a museum, or there might be a museum over here. Back at the first floor of the castle, I think that's all I can remember to show you of Castletown. So the next thing we'll do is we'll look at this rail here. This section of the rail connects us to the origin, back and forth, and then this one takes us to the Isle of Old. So, let's just go ahead and head there. Yeah, it kind of takes us past these pyramids here. And the place is under construction, so there's a couple of technical issues. We'll just glide past this part here, and then we're off. Arriving at the Isle of Old. Yeah, so this is the world that I ported over from a different server. You know, right over here, I've got my little vacation home. I wasn't playing Minecraft that much, so I just kind of had a small house and was just kind of hosting the server for a bit. But as I was recording this, I noticed that there's a hole in the roof. I didn't even know about this, so maybe that's something to fix if I remember later. But it's just this tiny little house I got. But I did add these paths here. I was trying to experiment with how to make pathings, I guess, look better. So, you know, and then I was also kind of hiding some lighting, just like You might see some glowstone there, but I'm just trying to sneak lighting in different places because I'm trying to prevent mobs from being spawned, but I didn't want, like, you know, torches all over the place, so I was trying to just learn how that works and see if I can make it look a little better. But over here we got a nice symmetrical house. Somebody else's house, but it's quite nice looking. And then if we follow this path, we'll see there's a couple other builds I can show you. Yeah, so we got this library here. And if we head inside, you can see there's kind of this nice dome at the top, and then also like multiple, well, I guess just 2 floors, but sort of a terrace at the top. So it's kind of nice looking. Yeah, and if we could head back on the path, I guess. There's a forest right there, and I walked past it, but there's an industrial sort of district over there that kind of has these pylons I created that are supposed to look like, you know, like electrical pylons, but I'm working on that as well just to make that look a little nicer. So I'm always trying to, you know, keep never totally abandoning builds and occasionally coming back to them. Sometimes you can come back and you can make things a little better. But here's another house. It's got a lot of glass in it and lots of chests. And there's still items in there that I take sometimes. Because you got all this, like if you need random different, look at that, 2 stacks of diamonds. So there's plenty of items in this house as well. But yeah, and then this is a bee house because I think they just added bees at the time. So you got some bees in there if you ever need beeswax or whatever. And then that's going to be interesting. I'll show you that later, I think. Up there's a XP grinder. I could fly over that, I guess. But maybe instead I'll show you this here. So this is actually Noah's Ark. It's also under construction. So maybe we'll finish that one day, but I helped build it a little bit, but there's a lot there's a lot of blocks that need to be placed for this. A lot of blocks. So we'll probably leave that for now, but you never know. One day that might get finished. And then over here we got this amethyst looking building, which I think is kind of cool. It's got this like calcite and amethyst sort of shape, color palette to it, so it's got multiple levels. Some of it's in the ground as well. And there's tunnels there too. Kind of forgot about that. I wonder if that still works, because this was ported over. Let's have a look. Okay, yeah, so there's the water level. Oh my gosh, I didn't know about this. Okay, let's see how this goes. Again, this is ported over, so some of this might be broken. Oh, look at that. There's a little tunnel into the ocean. Interesting, wow. Okay. Okay, so this tunnel goes over here. Oh. Ah. Okay. This brings us to the next section then. Yeah, down here we got a villager trading hall. It's got like a rail cart system and all these different villagers here and different, I guess, items you could trade with them. Yeah, you got this rail system here. And different signs to kind of label them. But this is kind of interesting. Ethically speaking, I wonder what your opinion is on this. First, the villagers are infected by these zombies and then we cure them. So technically we're the good guy? And then they give us better traits. So, huh. Interesting. Alright, don't think about that too much. Here I am at this tower that I wanted to show you earlier, I mentioned. Let's go up. It's a bubble elevator, and it takes us to the top of the world, so the build limit, which I think is like 256 or 255 or something. Alright, so from here, should be able to just glide all the way back to Castletown if I want. So let me head back. Like, you don't even need to use a rocket, that's how tall this is. Let's see if I do it right. Oh yeah, here we are. All the way back at Castletown. So, I'm just picking random things to show you now, but this section's going to be just more redstone. I already showed you the villager trading hall area. So down here's the storage system I'll show you. So you drop the items into a chest here. As long as they're stackable, they go into this auto sorting chest. And then you go through here and you jump down. Then through this door is the rest of the storage system. But this is a system that I got from somebody. It's a common one. I forget who it is, but it's one of those YouTubers. They made this automated like filter storage system, and it should have some stuff in it if it's not empty. Well, not much, but you got carrots here, you got golden carrots. Each one of these is filtered and separated. I tried to get as many items as I could, so. And then I kind of just recently covered it with brick to make it look better, so it's not just a bunch of exposed hoppers and stuff. So yeah, there's a bunch of items all over the place here. This is a very big project, actually. It's more than you would think to get all these chests together and all the items and the filters and the redstone and everything. So up here at the top of this tree, we're overlooking Castletown. We got an XP farm. It's kind of hidden within this tall tree, so I actually need to use it to repair my elytra to get to the next spot, so I'm gonna do that. Alright, elytra's repaired. I'm gonna head towards the Guardian farm. This is actually a two-part system, so the first thing I'm gonna show you is the actual Guardian farm. Alright, here's the platform to the farm. So you just stand up here. If I had brought a fishing rod, I could fish while I'm waiting. But you might be able to hear it, maybe not. But you can probably see those guardians that are flipping about down there. But they get pulled in or something. I'm not really sure exactly how it works, but let me fall down here to take a look. You don't want to get too close, otherwise you'll die. But I will risk it for the video. I'm getting too close. Okay. There's some nether portals here, and they kind of go into the nether portals, and on the other side they get grinded up with the campfires inside the nether, I think. Something like that. It's like either that or magma or something. Apparently you die a lot when you try to make this, so. But I can't go through those nether portals, otherwise I will definitely die, so I'm gonna have to fly back and we'll get to the next part. Okay, yeah, next part. Here we are. So this is the portal to get, or basically to get us there. on a railway, so let me just go through and I'll show you. Because they just added crafters to the game, we have a, what is it called? Prismarine Lantern auto crafter down here inside the Nether. So far, I haven't been shot by gas, so that's great. We're gonna head to the crafter, and I'm gonna maybe show you a little bit of how it works. But I'll keep it kind of simple, or quick, rather. Yeah, so the... Oh, I think I ran past it, but they fall into here. Both chunks are loaded. We've tested this. These chunks will be loaded as is the other the chunk. So if you stand on top of that platform from earlier, they will come by, and then these shards will show up here. So occasionally this thing breaks, but there's basically crystals that come through, and then shards. It looks like it is broken right now. Yeah, it's a little broken. So the recipe's broken. But this is how it's supposed to work when it's working properly. Put these here. Yeah, there we go. So it'll accept the materials, and it has like a clock, and it's just kind of going through and making these sea lanterns. That's what they're called. They're called sea lanterns. So we have a sea lantern auto crafter, and also we got ink sacs from this as well that are filtered out, and all this filtration is being done. Pretty cool. Okay, back in the overworld. There's a couple things I could show you. This is a kelp farm that just pushes the pistons out whenever the kelp gets to a certain height. And this is to make dried kelp, which is supposed to be the best furnace fuel in the game now, I guess. And it's automated, so it's like sort of renewable, so that's cool. And then over here is like a continuation of it, because this was not growing fast enough, so they ended up expanding it here. And there's some idea of like harvesting this, and then they're gonna maybe set up the hoppers in a way where it automatically collects it. Alright, back in the castle. I think through this portal we can get to the next farm, if I don't get lost. Yeah, let's see, where are we going? Yeah, it looks like this way takes us to the gold farm. So let me just get us there. Ah, yeah, you just follow the yellow path, and it'll take you to the gold farm. I don't know which way... You go up, yes, so... Got through the bedrock layer, and at the top here you kind of just go up here and you AFK, and then you get some gold. Alright, yeah, here. You can just stand here and then you'll get gold over time. You can see them spawning down there. Okay, I stopped recording for a second, but I actually have a problem. This is kind of interesting. There's a ghast threatening everything right now. I don't have a... Oh, I do have a bow. Okay, hold on. Stop that. Do I have any arrows? Yes. Oh, I missed. Okay. They're not nearly as dangerous as they used to be, but still, I didn't want them damaging anything. Okay. Alright, next spot. If I don't get lost, then I can make my way to the Wither Skeleton Farm. This is a burnout project, because it requires a bunch of slabs to make it more efficient. So you gotta find every single slabbed spot or spot that's not slabbed and slab it over. And to be honest, I might be getting lost here. But every single spot needs to be slabbed. Oh, there they are. We can see them right now. You can see them running over there. So it is working. But, yeah, it took a very long time to build this. Yeah, here it is. You can see all the skeletons here. Get some XP and also get a bunch of them. Let's see. Maybe there's some down here. Yeah, there's a few skulls. Oh, there's even more in this chest. So, yeah. It's another one. Alright, everybody, that's all I got to show you today. I do want to make it clear that this is a forever world. I've had it for probably about 8 years. I try to make sure I make backups every single day. I really don't want to lose it. It's very important to me. But depending on the reception of this video, I'll make more, I'll record more. But no matter what, this video's, or this world, is still gonna be here. It's just a matter of whether I record it. And the plan is, I'm gonna keep this for the rest of my life. So, that's the plan. Again, that's the plan. If I lose it, then there's nothing I could do, but that's my intention. But anyway, next episode I actually plan on building something. Leave a like if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more.